We're going to have a segment now that really looks into the process of aging. Doctors are learning a lot about how people age by studying identical twins. As twins age, they often gradually will look less and less alike depending on lifestyle. So you're going to meet a pair of twins who grew up together, are growing older together, and had facelifts together. For 62 years, Annette Billebrand and Jeanette Phelan have shared the special bond that twins know. So close they know when the other is sick, like the same foods, and even chose the same career, going to nursing school together. So it's no surprise that when it came to turning back the hands of time, they wanted to share that as well.
She sort of more pursued it more than I did, and then I said, oh, I couldn't tell her no. She couldn't have it done if I didn't have it done. I still want to be a twin, and I still want to look like her.
So they turned to New York City plastic surgeon Darrick Antell, who has developed a unique specialty in his field.
And I believe I've done more facelifts than anyone in the world on identical twins.
It's a skill that's important to these sisters. Even though they look so similar, there are some differences that a surgeon would have to take into account. Annette is the single one, more athletic and somewhat thinner. Jeanette, married with 4 children, has a fuller face.
Basically, they'd like to look younger and fresher, and also more twin-like. We're going to bring them back into balance. One of them is a little heavier than the other. One of them has had some medical problems that the other one hasn't. So those are all reasons why they may have aged a little differently.
Dr. Antell explains to each twin how he will help them lose their jowls and double chins, and just as importantly, keep them looking identical.
These are twins that are very much into being twins. I know that one of their motivations is to also look more alike. It's part of their identity.
I'm nervous, but I'm so excited. I just know the results are going to be good.
The twins have the surgery on the same day. Annette going first.
It feels groggy. I feel good.
While Jeanette anxiously waits until it's her turn. In the end, all goes according to plan.
I think everything went fine. We ended up using a actually similar incision on both twins because I felt that would give the best result. But we'll see as it turns out. Now it's like a cake in the oven. We've got to let it bake.
And joining us now are the twins, and we should do a little bit of a reveal here. On your left there is Annette Billebrand, and on the right is Jeanette Phelan. But let's look at the before and after pictures, and you're going to have to tell me which is which. Now, who's this?
Jeanette.
That's Jeanette. All right. Jeanette on the left before, Jeanette on the right after. And then Annette? Okay. Interesting. So what do you think?
I'm so excited. I'm happy with the results. It was a lot less painful. By the next day, I went to Rockefeller Center in St. Patrick's Cathedral. Within 3 weeks, I was skiing, ballroom dancing. I'm so pleased.
Good. So that you're saying that the recovery process
yes, it was a lot easier than I thought.
Was very simple.
Yeah.
I'm curious what you told Dr. Antell. Did you tell him we want to maintain our differences, or did you tell him we want to go back and look more and more alike?
Probably look more and more alike. Because I think that is twins. Being alike is part of your identity. So.
Right. And you embrace that very much. Friends and family have been very encouraging about this?
Oh, yes. I think they're kind of surprised that I decided to do it, but I think they're pleased with these elves.
Yeah. Did you guys have much discussion about this, or was it just something that you thought, when the idea came up, oh, yeah?
Well, I was oh, yes for it.
You were more reluctant?
Right, definitely.
Yeah. It's interesting, Dr. Antell, because while they have actually relatively similar lifestyles, I mean, neither one of them smoke or whatever, you have found that there really are differences in aging based on differences in lifestyle.
Indeed, Charlie. I feel that that genetics is highly overrated in the aging process. We feel that there are other external factors which you can control that affect the rate at which you age.
Major factors being?
Well, those factors would include things such as smoking, they would include stress, and they would include sun exposure.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and you have some pictures of people that you have brought in to give us an example of that. Let's take the first.
Now, I use the term defensive aging. If you can avoid stress, it will help minimize the lines between your eyes. In this particular picture, the twin that is on the left smoked for 30 years. Her identical twin sister did not smoke. This is not a before and after photo.
Huh. These are the two twins before surgery. And as you can see, the one on the left seems to have aged more dependent on the fact, or largely because of the fact that she was a smoker.
And interestingly, the wrinkle pattern is very similar on both of them, but they're just deeper and coarser on the twin that smoked. And what happens with smoking is it shrinks the capillaries, the little end blood vessels, so you're not feeding your skin as well, and it doesn't get nourished properly.
And you also mentioned sun exposure. Do you have a picture to demonstrate that?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, let's see that. Oh, there.
Same thing. The picture on the left is the identical twin that had excessive sun exposure. The picture on the right is of an identical twin who had much less or normal sun exposure. Again, look at the wrinkle pattern. They're very similar between both of them. And I'd always assumed that twins aged the same. So this was really revealing to me when I got back to New York after taking these pictures at Twinsburg, Ohio at the festival, to learn how dramatically they had aged differently.
Do you also have a picture on stress? You mentioned stress.
Stress we don't have in this setup, but what happens with stress is it's the fight or flight mechanism where the blood gets shunted from the perimeter to your central organs. You tighten up, you get lines here, and...
Oops. Line here, you're saying?
Well, I call it a number 11 line right over here.
Ooh.
But you just get
I think
really,
I'm up to number 12.
Yeah, really tight, and it doesn't feed your skin as well. The hair can go gray almost overnight under great stressful situations.
Huh. All right. Well, so you do find really difference, based on lifestyle, you find differences in aging. Which one, I'm sorry, had the medical problem that you mentioned?
did.
Was it you?
Yeah,
And
5 years ago.
5 years ago?
Right. So this also helps me have a new lease on life when I have a new look.
Well, terrific. Nice to meet the two of you. And I'm glad you can tell them apart. And I suspect some people at home, actually, I can see some differences between the two of you, but very similar as well. Nice to meet both of you.
Thank you.
Doctor, thank you very much.